The Qin state located on the northwest frontier of modern Gansu province, west of the Wei River. Their location was strategical because a river protected them on the west, while mountains protected them on the east.
770 BCE, Duke Shang of Qin provided protection of the Zhou court against the Rong barbarians. This had caused Qin to move their capital several times and finally settled next to the Zhou state's capital of Hao.
The rise of the Qin Dynasty was similar to that of the rise of the Zhou Dynasty. In 770 BC, Duke Shang of the Qin provided protection of the Zhou court against the Rong barbarians as they moved towards the Zhou capital cities of Hao and Luoyang. While this was happening, the Qin state had moved their capital, Xianyang, to different places but finally settled very close to Hao in 350 BC. They then conquered the state of Sichuan that was situated in the upper Yangtze River Valley, where the Sichuan state had created an excellent system of irrigation. After conquering the state, they had moved a majority of the irrigation in China, which had also contributed to the rise of the Qin Dynasty.
After conquering the warring states, King Zheng named himself the first emperor of China and changed his name to Qin Shi Huangdi, translating into the first emperor. With his new title, he named the region that he controlled Qin, which later translated into China, for which this region is known for today. After their rise to power, they inducted many changes in the region. The main change in this region was the abolishment of feudalism and the creation of the first centralized government. With the centralized government, they standardized many different things, including weights and measurements, the currency, and the Chinese writing system. With these changes, they imposed harsh laws in which promoted good conduct and discouraged bad behavior.
Another major impact that occurred later on during the dynasty was that they created a law stating that only legalism could be taught. Due to this, all books that opposed or did not teach legalism were burned, and all those who opposed legalism were buried alive or killed on the spot. A single copy of all books that were burned were kept in the imperial library for use if needed by government officials.
Along with the standardization of money, Emperor Qin replaced metal currency with two types of coin, a gold coin and a copper coin, each coin inscribed with its own weight. The coins had a round shape with a square hole in the middle, and these two currency forms became the standardized Chinese coins for about more than 2,000 years. By doing this, all Chinese people had a standardized money currency for all monetary transactions. They separated the region into provinces, then into counties, and they made all government positions be appointed by the government itself, excluding the ruling house.
The Qin Dynasty created many architectures that had a lasting effect, which still can be seen today.
The wall was built out of the remaining walls of the Zhou Dynasty and was built by all able-bodied subjects in the country. The wall was built in 12 years, and the constructors consisted of about 500,000 peasants, 300,000 soldiers, and a great amount of convicted criminals. These workers were subjected to hardships and were only dressed in rags in which they had to endure the cold, heat, hunger, exhaustion, and very often cruel supervisors. The materials used to build the wall consisted of mud, soil, timber, and bricks.
The Great Wall was built to protect the Qin Dynasty from invading nomadic tribes.
We're under attack! Light the signal! Now all of China knows you're here.
This irrigation system started when the Qin Dynasty took control of the Sichuan state, which is located in Upper Yangtze River Valley. The Sichuan state had created a basis for an irrigation system that the Qin state now had control over, and eventually built off the designs and had control of majority of the irrigation systems in China.
The Qin Dynasty had created a vast amount of roads, forming a network that harbored trade and the movement of troops.
These warriors were found when a Chinese farmer was plowing his fields in 1974. He had struck an object that was later dug up to discover that it was a life-size clay warrior. The farmer notified the Chinese authorities, and archaeologists were dispatched to look at the site. They ended up finding thousands of clay soldiers along with clay horses and real weapons.
The first emperor died suddenly in 210 BCE, and his will designated the exiled crown prince as successor. However, Lisa and chief eunuch Zhao Gao changed the will, ordered the crown prince and Meng Tian to commit suicide, which they did, and installed a weakling younger prince as the second emperor. Zhao Gao then had both Lisa and the second emperor killed and installed another prince on the throne. Soon, spontaneous rebellions were everywhere, and by 206 BCE, the Qin Dynasty was gone. The Qin Dynasty was very influential and has many lasting effects today. It was one of the greatest dynasties in Chinese history.